Hey everyone, Sophia here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are joining me, it is September 29th, 2025. And if you know anything about numerology, today is an 11 day. And 11 day is pretty freaking awesome. It's considered to be a master's number. Anyway, there's all kinds of stuff on it, so definitely look it up. But 11 is a very amazing, magnificent, super duper powerful day. So I knew I had to do something live today. I am really enjoying reading stories live. I'm just really loving it. I've been writing for quite some time, and I do these 24-hour writing contests, and it's so much fun. And I usually kind of forget. Well, I shouldn't say forget. Anyway, I really enjoy writing it, and a couple of them I have adapted into short screenplays, and one of them I want to shoot. I definitely plan on shooting it soon, and I'm just going to do it. If you have a passion or desire for something, you have to do it, right? So in order to read, I need glasses. I'm like, oh my God, I have to use glasses like all the time now. Oh, that was my daughter sneaking past me. Okay, a little bit about me. I am an artist. A lot of my paintings are on the wall. Photography too. I was in the art world for not a very long time, but a good part of my life. And I really enjoyed it. And then I kind of morphed back into the acting world, which I always loved. I mean, ever since I was a kid, I loved the whole acting thing. But I was part of a theater group, and when I was part of the theater group, we would do these short comedic skits, and that's how I really got into writing, was because of that. So I have these horror stories. I've written these shorts, and I know we're like easing into Halloween season. It's not actually October yet, but we're just so close. And they're already selling Halloween candy and costumes. So, why not, right? So I'm going to read from a short story I wrote called Echoes of Karen. And I'm just gonna talk away. And if you guys have any comments, feel free to leave them. And if you don't, hey, that's fine too. Yeah, this is kind of wild. Anyway, why not? I'm having fun with it. So this is Echoes of Karen. And oh, yeah, my hair's all, I feel like my hair is very beachy because I didn't do anything to it today. It was just like a wash and go. So I kind of like it. Look, it feels kind of a little witchy. Anyway, all right, Echoes of Karen, and I would love to hear your thoughts afterwards if you want to, and if not, that's all right too. All right, this one I have typed out. Anyway, so all right, let's go. All right. Every September, Samuel visited his grandfather's ranch where he spent his childhood summers. After his grandfather passed, he lived there with his wife and child until they died. Not wanting to give up the property, he leased it with the condition that he would visit every year. It was the 10th anniversary of his widower status when he left his condo complex overlooking the smog-infested concrete jungle. Work as a realtor consumed him. An offer was made to buy his grandfather's land, all 900 acres. He knew half the forest would be destroyed, as would all the crops. Samuel didn't care. He wanted to put it all behind him, all of it, take the money and start life over new somewhere. Even though he had his luxury cars and motorcycles, he loved driving his grandpa's 1947 Ford truck. He kept it in prime condition. Flashes of "Just Married" painted on the back window with a stream of cans tied to the bumper always brought a smile to his face when he drove to the ranch. He was dreading telling his tenant she had to leave by the end of the quarter. He could have the leasing company tell her, but he had an itching desire to tell her himself. When he felt like that, he went with it, like how his grandpa taught him. 47 years later, and it's still stuck. Several old cars were parked at the house. The smell of what Samuel believed to be weed filled his nostrils. Annoyed, he went straight to the door and banged on it. No answer. It was locked. So he went inside. 6:30 p.m. His Apple Watch beeped, reminding him to take his pills that he kept in his shirt pocket. It wasn't a priority. Hello? The smell made him gag. Loud, monotone chanting disrupted the silence. He followed it upstairs. Abruptly, it stopped. He opened the door to what used to be his bedroom. A cloud of burning sage overwhelmed him. Coughing, he saw a group of 5 trance-like women sitting in a circle. Whomever Annabelle is, meet me downstairs when you're done. The women didn't flinch. Rolling his eyes, he closed the door and went downstairs. When Samuel entered the kitchen, he froze in his tracks. Before him was a young woman who was a dead ringer for Kieran when she was 25. The same hair, the same eyes. A simple hi came from her heart-shaped lips, just like Kieran's. You must be Samuel Rollins. I heard you'd be stopping by this weekend. I'm Annabelle. The crops have been doing great. We sold. Her voice hypnotized him. He didn't feel like himself. Every movement she made, he only saw Kieran. It's Mabon. We're lucky to have a full moon. You know, it's a blue moon. Great for the crops. We celebrate every holiday. Holiday? He stared at her in disbelief. She laughed, just like Kieran. He yearned to touch her. With his heart in his throat, words were trapped. The natural sunlight through the windows darkened. Samuel felt himself mesmerized as Annabelle approached him. Her dark eyes were so captivating. Kieran, he mouthed, barely audible. Yes, she put her hands on her face. Tears rolled down his weathered, hollow cheeks. Samuel never processed his grief after Kieran's death. It was all too sudden, too much of a blur. Who are you? Her lips met his, succumbing to her embrace. He hungrily kissed her, oblivious to the chanting floating all around them. You killed our son, Samuel. The whispered words came from every direction. You killed our son. You killed our... What? He backed away from her, but Annabelle would not release her embrace. The same chanting came from her mouth. You killed our son. Sage, smoke filled the room. He couldn't see straight. Kieran, he struggled with his articulation. You don't understand. A blade pierced his chest. Immediately, she pulled it out to jab him again. Samuel ran for the door. An older woman, also looking exactly like Kieran, blocked him. Don't leave, she cried. Another Kieran clone begged, stay, stay. Sidestepping her, Samuel ran out the back door. In the darkness, all the cars were gone. Confused, Samuel jumped to his truck and started the engine. Ignoring his blood-soaked designer jacket, his foot hit the accelerator. Uncertain as to where he was going, he followed the light of the voluptuous yellow moon. Crisp orange and red leaves left a trail as the forest called out to him. Thud! The truck lurched to a violent stop. What the fuck? The unspoken mantra was on repeat. Weak and disoriented, Samuel stumbled out. In the moonlit darkness, he saw nothing but memories of when he, his son and wife, would laugh and play. It was a full moon the last time he saw them alive. The breeze directed him to where his wife and child were buried in the cornfield, unknown to anyone else. In a trembling voice, he pleaded, please forgive me. Suddenly, Kieran stood before him, behind him, and around him. The 6 women repeatedly stabbed Samuel. For our son, he misses you. For our son, he misses you. For our son, he misses you. They spoke in unison. Samuel locked eyes with Kieran as she morphed into Annabelle. His body convulsed as he choked on his blood. collapsing within the circle, Samuel's soul was set free. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so that was Echoes of Karen, and I am contemplating adapting that into a short script. So if you guys had any comments or, well, first of all, thanks everyone for joining me. I appreciate it. I like to read my short horror stories that I've written, well, over time, and that was one of them. It's a script that I'm considering adapting into a short film because I've been making short films lately, which has been really exciting. And anyway, so because it's Halloween season, I figured, okay, let's get into Halloween season 1. If you guys want to say anything or leave any comments, I would greatly appreciate it. But it's entirely up to you. Anyway, I'm going to read one more. This one's also very short. It is called Timbuktu. And I'm debating if I want to do this or not. It's probably a little more complicated, but who knows. And again, see, I read The Secret of Suitcases last week, and I read the adapted version of it called The Suitcase, and that's been doing really well with film festivals. It's been winning stuff, which is always exciting. And I think I'm going to have that one made. I'm debating if I want to be in it or if I want to direct it. I kind of want to direct it, but we shall see. So this one is called Timbuktu. The clock tower loomed as a grim sentinel, its chimes resounding through the midnight air, summoning 30 adolescents from the shadows of underground tunnels and crumbling ruins. The tower, the last intact structure, reminded everyone of a life never to be known again. A spotlight scanned the cluster group, smiling from ear to ear as it settled on a petite girl holding a microphone. "Welcome, one and all," she bellowed, the microphone feedback making the audience grab their ears. "It's time for Timbuktu, your favorite and only weekly game show brought to you by me, Jazzy JJ." The eerily lit crowd cheered. Lights came up on 4 contestants, 2 men and 2 women, years older than the audience, with their arms and legs chained together. Umu, not yet 10, pointed to one of the women. "That's my mom!" Her words went unheard as distorted circus music blasted from the top of the tower. Jazzy danced with delight as she announced to each of the contestants. Umu couldn't take her eyes off her mum, who couldn't see her as the game commenced. Memories flooded Umu as she saw her mom forced to participate. Umu didn't understand the game but went along with it. None of them had a choice. Visions of her mother hugging her and telling her she loved her just before the bomb brought tears to Umu's eyes. They survived, but Umu couldn't remember how they separated. Since then, Timbuktu was their only entertainment. The contestants were all over 40, and none ever wanted to win. They played, however, to keep the others alive. Umu's mother was about to win. Jazzy took joy in humiliating the losing contestants, shaming them for not doing their part. Umu found herself praying, something she hadn't done since the bombing. They didn't believe in anything except survival. Yet now it all felt different. She looked at everyone around her with their faces gaunt, eyes wild. She knew even her own teeth were like theirs, jagged and broken. Jazzy announced, "We have a winner! Cheers went wild! I love you," Umu heard her mother's voice in the back of her mind. "Now for our favorite part," Jazzy JJ announced. "Our winner is Raymond Rose!" A sigh of relief escaped Umu's lips. Her eyes sought out her mother's. For a brief second, they connected. Umu knew she had to do something, but what she didn't know. Jazzy made the decisions for everyone. A mysterious figure draped in all black stepped on the stage with a massive machete. Chants of "Timbuktu, Timbuktu, Timbuktu" swelled. Suddenly, the machete swung, and Raymond's head rolled before Jazzy's feet. "Commence," she commanded. The crowd pounced on the body, sucking every ounce of life out of it. Umu darted to her mother, still in chains. Jazzy stepped before her, demanding to know why she wasn't feasting. Without hesitation, Umu pushed Jazzy into the mob, then grabbed the machete. With all her might, she swung at the chains on her mother's feet. Together, they ran off, uncertain and scared, but free. All right, so that was the end of Timbuktu. Of the two stories I just read, which ones do you guys think would make a better movie? Well, short script rather. I mean, I think the one with the kids, so I worked with a couple of kids. Well, I shouldn't really call them kids. No, I'm old, they're kids. They're in their teens. We did Doorstep Prom, which was a lot of fun. And they were so freaking good. They actually inspired me to write a series for them. A series that could be a feature or just a series of shorts or possibly even a TV series. Anyway, it's a work in progress and I'm having a lot of fun with it. But if you guys liked Timbuktu, let me know. If you think that make a cool short, let me know. I'd appreciate it. Oh, Ronnie, hey, thanks so much for joining. Well, you know what? I am recording this, and so I will definitely post it. I'm actually kind of excited reading these out loud because it kind of, for one, being an actor, I kind of love being a little acting, reading it. But these are fun to write, and I'm thinking Echoes of Kieran could be fleshed out into a short. That could be a lot of fun to write. And also, well, Timbuktu could be fun, but it's kind of gruesome, just like the whole eating people is really gross, which is a few years ago, I wrote a horror short called Entrails. And I thought, oh, this is just really disgusting and stuff. But now that so many horror movies are coming out about cannibalism, yes, it's disgusting. I've kind of like, yeah. So I wrote it and we shot it. And then I saw the rough cut of it and I thought it was so disgusting I couldn't put it out there. I really could not put it out there at all. So anyway, but no, making these short films is a lot of fun. And what's crazy is, okay, I kind of see it like art. It's like I was an artist for a long time. Then I got into selling other people's artwork and curating and that whole thing. But filmmaking is like you're still dealing with a lot of people and you're kind of like piecing together a piece of art, which is exciting to me. Now, I have to talk about The Wrecker because that is on a much bigger scale. And about 3 years ago, I co-wrote a script. Oh gosh, almost 4 years ago. I worked on a script with Nico Foster, and this was like his passion project. He really wanted to get this script done. And he loves action movies. And I really love like the action movies of the 80s, like Die Hard. And okay, so a lot of those movies are kind of like really chauvinistic in a way, but anyway, they were really good action movies. And I just have a thing for the thrill, it's like the chases and the explosions and that whole thing. And so I have now written almost 20 scripts with Nico. And 2 of them have been made. And it's such a process. And being the co-writer on those, I don't really have much of a say in anything. And that's part of the process. You kind of have to go, you don't call the shots as a writer, which I'm like, whereas working on a short, I have a little more control, more creative say rather, because it's never really about control. So The Wrecker has a lot of action. And what's interesting is like you adapt screenplays. It never really is exactly as you write it, which is a little frustrating, but it's like you have to deal with the location and who your actors are and who's going to show up and that whole thing. But the opening, and I have a trailer cut of it. I think I'll post it. I was asked to hold off sharing the trailer, and I did, and then I was asked to take it down, but I think I'm going to share it again, just because that opening is so awesome. You're watching like, it's like, what's going to happen? And it's just like this solid action. But what's also kind of cool, there's this love story in it that it's not like your typical love story, but it's like you see this connection and you see this something blossoming. And it's a little awkward at first because where Tony's the lead character, where he's at, it's like he's not really ready for a relationship, but you could tell he likes her. And there's just like this little dance. And I think every story needs to have a love story. No matter, even horror. I mean, it needs to have a love story. I think so anyway. Do I like 80s horror films? Oh my God, yeah. I heard Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street are going back into theaters. They are, yeah. If you're gonna watch Friday the 13th, you have to watch it on the big screen. I mean, come on. I think I've seen all of the Friday the 13th. Oh, and what's interesting about that movie, I found out the guy who came up with it, he came up with the title Friday the 13th, and he had no idea what the movie was going to be about. He just liked liked that phrase so much at the title, so he had to come up with an idea for it, and it just kind of hit. I guess people like watching teenagers get killed. I mean, I think the movies of the 80s, those horror movies really set the stage for horror movies today. And now they're just like pushing the limit. Okay. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. All right. I'm also adapting a book called Much Too Vulgar. It's a horror comedy, and I think one thing I really like about horror is when you have the comedy in it, like Friday the 13th. As gory as it was for that time, it was still kind of funny. And I think if you watch it now, there's gonna be a lot more humor to it. I don't know. What do you think, Ronnie? Would you say that there's humor in Friday the 13th, or definitely Nightmare on Elm Street? I think that was like Johnny Depp's first movie. Anyway, so yeah, this whole process of Halloween and being scared, and it's like this action movie is just so much fun. I also wrote Paralysis with Nico, and that is a horror movie. Louis Mandylor directed it, and it was also, again, one of those situations where you pour your heart and soul into writing the thing, and the director has an idea himself, and then it becomes this other kind of dance. What changes, what stays, and it bruises your ego, but you have to remember you can't really have ego doing this, but yet in order to do this, you have to have an ego, if that makes sense. I mean, the whole business is pretty wacky, but we love it, right? So right now I'm in the stage of like really learning the craft of making film, and there are just so many different elements to it that people don't really realize. They think, oh, the actor is really it. It's like, the actor helps bring people to watch it, but getting through post, the editing and the voice mixing and the music and all of that, it's kind of crazy. What's kind of cool, Anya K, she was my actress in Doorstep Prom, and she's just adorable. She's a singer too, and she does so much content where she's filming herself all the time, and she edits, and she does it just right, and her angles and her poses. So she was really easy to work with on set. She took direction really well, and she knew what her angles were. And I remember I wanted to do an opposite angle, and she's like, no, that's not my angle. So that was actually kind of funny. But I think these young kids are really learning how to make story come alive on TikTok. You really don't think about it as movies, but the way our attention spans are so short right now. Sean Baker said something. Sean Baker's the one who did, it won the Oscar. Anora. He did Anora, and I don't know, did you guys see Anora? Anyone see Anora? It won all kinds of awards. And thank you, Ronnie, I appreciate that. It won tons of awards. Now, what I thought was interesting was he's also friends with Quentin Tarantino. So, okay, I guess that kind of helps. If you're buddies with Quentin Tarantino, getting into that circle. They say, like with everything, it's all about who you know. But Sean Baker said something about, let's keep the craft of filmmaking an art. Because he seemed not too happy with everyone being, content creators. But when you create content, a lot of these film shorts, there's a process to it. Now, okay, you have your templates on TikTok, and TikTok has like really creepy ones, and a lot of the music is like really disturbing, like really kind of dark, which is a little worrisome for when you see like 8-year-olds putting content together, but whatever. What can we do about it? Well, I mean, there's a lot we could do about it, but I'm not going there. But yeah, it's like you're using the process of creation. And I'd like to think, which is kind of wild, as a writer, when you create something, whether it's a painting or a story or a movie or anything that comes from you that you literally like connect to source with, I kind of feel like you're creating another realm. And I was thinking there've been a couple of movies along those lines. I think the one with oh my god, I can't remember names. The Ink with Brandon Fraser, where it's like the story came alive. You would write it and it would come alive, and it's like, who's this? Wouldn't that be wild if that really were the case? And I was like, Anyway, imagination going. So do you guys want to share with me what your favorite horror story is, since we're getting into Halloween? What is your favorite scary movie? What scares you? Would you say it is more psychological horror like Alfred Hitchcock, or do you guys like gore horror? I mean, I wrote one script called Hello Motel, and it's about the devil who lures souls into the motel and traps them for his own benefit. And his wife, who's also trapped, she wants to be free. And so they make a bet that she can leave if she can free one soul. And he's not going to let her go. And he ends up trapping her in a deck of tarot cards. So I have a lot of fantasy and zombies that walks like, oh, I like that. Oh, I just read a short story, Ronnie, the other night. It was a zombie story, so that was kind of cool. In fact, after I read a story, someone who was listening, Stefan, he was like, hey, would you be willing to read my short story? I'm like, okay. So I hadn't read it before and just read it cold, and it was about zombies, so it was kind of cool. Anyway, so if you guys like have anything that you'd like to share, feel free to put it out. I literally just started doing these lives. I did have my show So Zoom In, where I would talk a lot to artists, and I kind of stopped doing that because I figured, well, I just wanted to like shift gears, because I had started So Zoom In during COVID, and I felt like, okay, just want to like try something new, and this is kind of new for me. And I want to meet people. I want to meet people who are interested in filmmaking, in writing, in being creative, and what your ideas are and what you would like to see made as a movie. This whole movie business is changing so much, and vertical shorts are really big right now. I think when Quibi came out a few years ago, before COVID, had it come out during COVID, I think it would have been a lot more successful. But we all have short attention spans, so I'm probably talking way too long now. So for those coming in, thank you so much. If you split right away, hey, that's cool too. We all have things to do and want to see what the next thing is. I totally get it. But what I'm thinking, as I continue to do this, I will start having special segments because I was told, oh, well, you need to do this and you need to do that. I've never really been one to follow the rules like that. I figured, I want to be organic, see how it flows. So I think the next time I do a live, I'm actually going to read from the script Paralysis, not the whole thing because it's a 102-page script, but part of it. And that way, when the movie does come out, and if you guys see it, you'll see how drastically it was. I think what Nico and I wrote was really good. Oh, I do have to say, I wrote the scene. Like I said, I like action movies, and I have to put my glasses on. All right, first of all, thank you guys for joining. So I love action, and I always like to see stuff that's different or that you don't really see. And so we had this group, this gang, and they're total assholes and troublemakers and like a really not nice group of people, and I'm being nice. So do you guys remember Stand By Me? There was a scene with Kiefer Sutherland where he had a baseball bat and they were driving the convertible, and one guy would just be knocking off the mailboxes. Apparently that was the thing in the 50s for people who wanted to be rebellious, right? So in the script, and it was taken out, I had the main guy, driving, and there was a guy who's like always angry and always mad and always wanted to beat people up. And he had a baseball bat. And so they went highway surfing. And I'm just saying this is part of the story and for no one to go out and do it, but I thought it was kind of cool. So they're all high off their bejesus. And so he gets the baseball bat. And there's a motorcycle going on the highway. And during traffic when everyone's going really fast, but you still have room to like zoom around. So he gets the baseball bat and the motorcycle, he just whacks him, upside the head. Well, actually in the front. And the scene is the guy flips backwards and the motorcycle does too. And it just worked. I thought that whole scene just really worked because these guys are being such freaking assholes. And anyway, so I said, well, hey, can't we keep that part in? Because I think it'd be really effective. And they're like, no, we can't do it. No, we can't do it. So I was kind of disappointed by that. Apparently it was not in the budget. And apparently turned out the real reason was because the director wanted to write something else that he wanted. So I'm like, all right, whatever. You just kind of roll with it. And the idea is to always keep coming up with new ideas because this is an idea business. You could take something old and make it new again. Just got to keep going and keep coming up with stuff. And the hardest part is not taking any of it personally. That really is. So anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me. I have another short story. It's actually a fantasy young adult. I don't know. Do you guys like fantasy stories? Young adult, like dragons and time portals and all that stuff. I think I'm, I know it's Halloween season, so we guys like horror stuff. I've been having fun. I've been having fun doing Auntie Fiona Adams. Auntie Fiona Adams is Wednesday Adams' fictional auntie. Well, okay, Wednesday Adams is fictional. But when I was playing around, I thought, wouldn't it be cool to have Auntie Fiona Adams give her words of wisdom, in a dark twist, So anyway, I've been having a lot of fun doing that. So I'm thinking in October, as we get closer to Halloween, of actually doing a live version as Auntie Fiona Adams, get my whole goth look going in. Oh, darling, what can I do for you? Type thing. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So that will be upcoming. Anyway, I do have this young adult fantasy that I really like the story. In fact, I liked it so much, I was inspired to write a novel called Shadows of the Glass Coffin, which is an adaptation of Snow White in a very dark and twisted way. It's not like the Bambi movie right now, which I really don't have any desire to see. But anyway, so that's coming up later. I actually have that with an editor right now. So, you know what? So I think just because I won't be able to read this in October because we're still on the edge of it not fully being Halloween season, I think I'll go ahead and read it. But yeah, hey, I would like your comments for Timbuktu or Echoes of Kieran if you want. If not, that's okay. I'll have the recording. I kind of like Echoes of Kieran just because it's kind of like, you know, the whole what we do because of guilt, you know, just can really fuck us up, you know. So gotta clear all that stuff out, right? Gotta let's see. I have a lot of short stories here. Oh my gosh, it's kind of wild. Ooh, oh, this is because I'm kind of feeling like I'm in an acting kind of mode. I'm gonna read the first few pages of Don't Ax Me. I've been writing this script because I met this woman at a stage reading, and I just saw her and I thought, oh my gosh, she would fit the part to a T. And so she inspired me to write it, and then I got her to read it. I'm like, huh. So I think, so I started writing it, so I think I'll finish it. And then I got someone interested in working on it with me as a producer, which always feels good. But anyway, so I think it needs work, but what doesn't need work? But I think reading it out loud definitely helps. So this is called Don't Ax Me, the first 10 pages. And anyway, okay. Interior, Honey Bunny's strip club. Yes, I actually wrote about a strip club, so just warning there. Okay, all right. Honey Bunny's strip club night. A neon sign reads "Honey Bunny's" hangs over the bar. A crowd of men in the darkened club stares at the stage. A light comes up on a stripper's high heel. The other leg wraps around a stripper's pole. Nita Washington, a voluptuous, sensual African-American, seductively dances the pole, owning the space. She opens her eyes, and bright, colorful lights swirl around her. Music blares, fog mingles among the swirling colors. She sees only one man sitting before her. She smiles that intimate, knowing smile. Every move is for him, and for him alone. Arnold Smith, 58, a large man with a commanding presence, fixates on her. He is not that man she sees. To Nita, Arnold Smith does not exist. Strip club backstage, night. Done for the night, Nita gets dressed at her locker. Angie, 20, covered in tattoos and a string bikini, comes up behind her. Hey! Nita jumps, dropping a paper bag. An axe falls out. Ooh, what's that? Picking up the bag, Nita admires the axe. My mama told me an axe is better than a gun. Agree to disagree. Yeah, my husband thought so too. You're married? Was. You look, Angie, I probably shouldn't ask you. What? I can't believe you just said that. What? Axe? Yeah, I was gonna ask you how Nita laughs. What's so funny? A Hende used to say that all the time. A Hende? I gotta go. She grabs her bags and leaves. Hey, wait up. Got any shroomies? How much you want? Enough for Labor Day next weekend? Okay, tomorrow. Bar. Nita passes a crowded bar on her way out. The bartender serves a whiskey to Arnold. He slams it back as he watches Nita leave. Interior car. Nita drives along a dark, empty street out of town. She keeps switching radio stations as nothing quite suits her mood. Frustrated, she turns it off. Opening the glove compartment, she takes out a worn-looking photo of a Hende, 28, a handsome collegiate African-American holding on to their 2-year-old son, Jacob. Putting the photo to her lips, she kisses it. With a photo at her chest, she drives in silence. Tears stream down her face. From her purse, she takes out a small baggie and puts a piece of mushroom into her mouth. Her head spins, but she keeps focused on the road. As she drives, her rearview mirror and driver's side mirror flood with high beams, blinding her. The car tailgates her. What the hell? She pulls her car over to the side. It whizzes by her like a blur of psychedelic light against a black velvet sky. Fuck you, motherfucker! Exterior car, open road, night. Nita's car peels out, getting back on the road. It speeds along, approaching an open stretch of land with a few trees and a lot of abandoned junk. It parks before a rusty trailer with all its lights on. A makeshift greenhouse peeks out from behind it. A single light above the front door illuminates the front area. Nita puts the photo in the glove compartment. She takes another mushroom and eats it. Gathering her purse, she stumbles out of the car. Managing to get to her door without falling, Nita unlocks it and goes inside. The door slams shut behind her. A car, with its lights off, pulls up behind Nita's car. Nita takes out the paper bag from her purse and takes out her axe. She looks at it and laughs. Don't axe me. Cracking herself up, she places it on the side of her neatly made bed, which fills up most of the small space. Going to her refrigerator, she takes out a cupcake that has a candle in the shape of a number 5 on it. She lights it and sets it before a framed photo of her 2-year-old son. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, my Jakey. Happy birthday to you. Mommy loves you, sweetheart. She blows out the candle. Overcome by grief, she turns out all the lights and climbs into bed. Her sobs linger in the dark. The door jiggles. Her eyes open wide as she reaches to the side of her bed. The door swings open. Arnold steps inside and turns on the lights. Take your fucking clothes off. Nita sees Arnold salivating over her. He takes a step closer. Without hesitating, she throws the axe at him. It lands between his eyes. He falls back. He hits his head on the counter, then lands on the floor. Nita watches on in terror, hands shaking. What the fuck just happened? The axe sticks out of Arnold's face, covered in blood. Still on her mushroom high, she stares at the axe, which appears blurry to her. His blood seeps into her throw rug. Very slowly, she gets off of her bed and goes to him, unsure if he is alive or not, or if he's actually there. Moving slow and steady, her legs betray her and she stumbles. Getting to her hands and knees, her face is in front of Arnold's, with the axe sticking out of his forehead. Arnold. Her voice doesn't work. Arnold, is that you? She realizes that it is indeed Arnold, only he doesn't move. What are you doing here? Staring at him, she sees 3 of him in multiple moving colors. She tries to focus her sight. Let me get this thing out of the way. She pulls the axe out of his head and blood spurts. Oh, God, what the fuck is this? Holding the axe, her face hovers over his. What the hell, Arnold? He opens his eyes. With a scream, she slams the axe on his face. The whole room spins. Nausea overcomes her. His body is between her and the bathroom. She knows she's not going to make it. Not sure what to do. She has no other choice. Vomit lands all over him. But he's dead anyway. Oh God, dear Lord, what did I just do? Nita sits back up against the wall. A Hyundai takes hold of her hand. She looks up and sees a very blurry vision of her husband sitting next to her. Well, you ain't just gonna sit there, are you? Baby, what are you doing here? I never left your side. But you're dead. So is he. And you need to get his ass out of here. Nita sobers up, looks at herself. She's a mess. The garden. Huh, that's my queen. Take care of business and you'll get yourself cleaned up. It'll be morning soon. He begins to fade away. Baby, don't go. Their eyes lock as he disappears. Nita stares at the empty space where Ahende was. She focuses her attention on Arnold. You don't go breaking into people's homes and scaring the shit out of them. You're gonna get yourself killed. You see that now, don't you? Now, how am I gonna clean this up? Why did you do that to me? That really wasn't very nice. You got no right to break into people's homes. This is my home. Mine, you hear? Mine. And this was my day, and you done is and gone ruined it. You motherfucker! Sobered, she sees the mess before her. Fuck! Taking a deep breath, she goes back to the back of her trailer. I hate scrubbing shit. I hate it. She leaves the trailer with a flashlight, leaving the door open. A moment later, she returns. Scanning his body, she tries to figure out how to get him out of the door. You can't be looking at me, Arnold. Just ain't right. Bad enough I have to look at you. She reaches out for a blanket, looks at it, puts it back. Too nice to use on him. Going to her hamper, she takes out a black sheet. Yeah, all right, okay. The axe still sticks out of Arnold's face. Well, Mama always did say an axe could come in handy. Never said why, but I get it now. Grabbing the axe, she takes it to the sink and washes it off. She turns to Arnold. You just gotta go and complicate my life like wasn't fucked up enough already. He's heavy, but she's strong. Come on! A plastic bag catches her eye on top of her refrigerator. She grabs it and puts it over his head. She struggles to drag him out the door. Nita gets out first with Arnold's top part of his body in her arms. She missteps and falters, nearly falling down the 3 steps. She catches herself, but drops Arnold. His body bangs on the steps and does a semi-somersault down as she jumps out of the way. Dear Jesus Almighty. Straightening him out in the dirt, she sees his car parked behind hers. I am so over this. Nita reaches into his pocket and pulls out his keys and his wallet and takes them inside. The light over the front door flickers. She comes out and bangs on the trailer, causing the light to stop flickering. Annoyed, she grabs his arm and drags him around the trailer. The sun rises. Sweaty and out of breath, Nita exits the greenhouse and goes up to Arnold's car. Nita gets inside and drives it to the back of a trailer. After she parks it, she gets out and scurries to the front, murmuring under her breath. Nita reaches for the hose and washes down the dirt where his car was and where she dragged him, getting rid of all tracks. No evidence. As she sprays the water, her eyes glaze over. Strip club night. Angie dances the pole. Not much of a crowd. Arnold's wife, Clarice, Storm, way past her prime and too indulgent with donuts and cigarettes, storms past the security guard, scouring the area looking for her husband. She goes up to the bartender. Where the hell is he? Darling, there's a lot. He's here. Who exactly do you have in mind? Arnold. He's here all the fucking time, and he didn't come home, so where is he? The bartender looks over to Rook, the club's sleazy owner, talking to a couple of patrons. Rook, seeing Clarice, rolls his eyes. Excuse me, will you? I'll be right back. He goes up to Clarice. Hey, Clarice. Surprised to see you here. You're usually with Arnold. He didn't come home. Probably because he just left 5 minutes ago. She stares at him, contemplating if he's lying or not. He is, but she's not sure. Did you see him leave? About 5 minutes ago. Annoyed, Clarice glares at Rook, then at the bartender. If he comes back, we'll tell him you're looking for him. Unsatisfied, Clarice storms out. Okay, that is the first 10 pages of Don't Ask Me. It's going to be written as a horror comedy. I definitely want a lot of comedy in it. I would love to hear your thoughts. I mean, yes, I know I read the multiple characters. I tried, anyway, that was actually fun. If you have any comments about Don't Ask Me or critiques, I would love to hear them. I'm thinking it'll be pretty much just a couple locations, the trailer and the strip club. And of course the cops. Got to have a police station, right? Because someone has to investigate the body of Arnold missing. Anyway, so it's going to be a fun twist. Thank you, Ronnie. Thanks for listening. I appreciate that. So I have now read 3 short stories. Well, 2 short stories and 10 pages of a script I'm working on. They will be on replay, so I will post this later. So thank you so much. All right, so horror movies is kind of like the thing right now. There are so many horror movies out, and they're actually showing horror movies from the 80s. What was you guys out there? What do you say you guys have a favorite horror movie? What do you say? Oh, thank you, Louise. I appreciate it so much. And thank you. Was it Holic Go Crazy? Ooh, thank you so much. Thanks for joining. It's kind of nice to have an audience. I wish I could actually hear your voices. I'm kind of figuring all that stuff out still. But so yeah, I think the next time I do this live, I will read part of Paralysis, just because the script I wrote with Nico is completely different than what got shot. Now I'm hoping the movie will come out, because not only once you have the movie made, you go through the whole process of editing, mixing, colors, all that stuff. It has to go to a distributor, and there is a lot of stuff. I want to be nice. Let's just say it's very complicated. So anytime you see anyone get done with a movie, there were a lot of obstacles to get there. So and that's why it's so heartbreaking when you see something that you just can't stand. That's really heartbreaking, because movie making takes a ton of people. For every movie you see on TV, on streaming, even if you hate it, it was a process. Oh my God. Speaking of which, my very first movie, I co-wrote it, and I was a co-producer on it. I was not in it. I was supposed to be in it, but as it progressed, I'm like, yeah, no, I do not want to be in this movie. It was called The Devil's Heist. I think you guys can still see it on Amazon. Now, if you guys do watch it, make sure you're really drunk or stoned, okay? Because if you're sober, it's not quite the same. But it's called The Devil's Heist. I wrote it with Brian Sapphire, who has transitioned into Maya. And anyway, that whole experience just turned into, I think a movie needs to be made about that experience. And I'm really kind of glad I took a back seat to it, because it was like one crazy ass thing after another, which was kind of really scary. Anyway, but it does have Mike Ferguson in it. And apparently Mike Ferguson is quite the star in the horror film circuit. The crazy thing is, I don't really watch horror. Unless it's like elevated horror, like A Quiet Place was really good. Alfred Hitchcock movies. I love those kind of movies. Again, I'm going to plug Vicky's book, Much Too Vulgar, which I'm adapting. It's the kind of horror that makes you think, yeah, I could do that. And then you kind of question yourself and you're like, oh, hell no. But what's so interesting today, it seems like people don't really have their boundaries anymore. And you just kind of like watch the news and you think, oh shit, people are capable of gruesome things. And that's kind of scary. So it kind of makes me wonder, well, is it because we're not really setting boundaries, or there aren't really morals anymore? I don't know. But yet we love horror movies. But they're actually happening in real time. But going back, so what scary movie do you guys absolutely love? What is your favorite? Is it something old? Something new? I saw the remake of Nosferatu. Didn't like it. Very cinematic, very artsy, very boring. Yeah, I think it was definitely more on the, oh, The Conjuring. The Conjuring's really good at, have you seen the latest one yet? Ronnie, the latest one, it's supposed to be based on the true story. And that's another thing. All these stories now are based on true stories or on books. That's one reason why I started writing Shadows of the Glass Coffin. Yeah, I think I'll watch it on the small screen, because if I have to watch it on the big screen, I mean, when I saw the first one on the big screen, I was so scared. I was like, especially with that doll Annabelle, terrified me. Yeah, I think I'll wait to definitely watch it on Amazon or on Netflix, whichever one comes out, because it's a lot easier to watch a scary movie on a smaller screen than the big screen. Yeah, the first Conjuring was terrifying. And, I grew up in the, I'm not going to say, oh shit, why not? I grew up in the 70s and 80s. And I remember watching the Karen Black trilogy. I can't remember the name of it, but it had to deal with a doll. Do you guys remember that movie? Anyway, it's like really terrifying. Where the dolls came alive. And then remember Chucky. Oh, Chucky was terrifying. And anything with dolls coming alive is just really freaky. So Annabelle really freaked me out big time. Anyway, but elevated horror was really interesting. I love the younger generation, meaning, people are like teenagers and 20s. A lot of horror that they're watching has to deal a lot with cannibalism, or people eating other people, and they're not necessarily zombies. And that kind of really grosses me out, especially since, you go down some rabbit holes. And as a writer and a creative, I like to check out a lot of different things to see what kind of material I can get, especially with horror films. And there are a lot of rabbit holes and a lot of icky, disgusting stuff. Anyway, so I found one thing called, I'm like, my brain's going. Yeah, I better not go there, because I don't want to get banned, because I just started, and I know that you can actually get banned for saying the craziest, or for saying like stuff that's really not that crazy, but I'll play it safe. But no, if you guys, okay, Conjuring's a great horror movie. Let's see, what else is that? Oh, Him, the new Jordan Peele movie. Now, I know a couple of people who saw Him, and the trailer looks really scary. That looks really scary. But they said the movie starts off, the first half is like really good, then the second half just falters. So I don't know. I think I'll watch that one when it comes out in streaming. I don't want to get banned, but I won't see. Oh, thank you, Ronnie. I appreciate that. No, but yeah, what other scary movies are out there that you guys really like? Remember Camp Sleepaway? That's also an old one from the 80s. I think they're doing a remake of that one. And it's so wild that they're doing a lot of remakes of these movies from the 80s. It seemed like that era defined, these teenage horror stories, which is kind of cool. Let's see what else was really scary. Well, now mixed genres are really popular too, like The Wrecker. Yes, I have to go back to that. And it's so crazy it's opening on Halloween, because it's not a horror film. I mean, okay, there's a lot of gruesome fighting. Okay, there's a scene that there's a scene in the very opening part where you had the mobster guy. Oh, and that's another thing. I love mobster movies. Like Godfather. I have seen Godfather 100 times, if that, maybe more. Godfather 2 and Godfather 3. You know, Casino, Goodfellas. Love Goodfellas. That was such a great movie. Anyway, so that mobster vibe is also in The Wrecker. The Ouija board. Oh, no way. No. It's like, cannot watch that. No way. And the reason I say there's no way, because when I was a kid, like, kids are stupid, and they think, oh, we have a Ouija board, let's play. I had a couple of friends. We were probably like 9 at the time. We get out the Ouija board and we're being stupid and we're asking all kinds of I don't remember what, but all of a sudden this really weird noise came out. We all screamed and we all ran out. And so after that, I will never even look at a Ouija board. But in this book, we have a Ouija board scene. So it's not used though. It's just a kind of a fun scene that will have some humor, which is kind of fun. Anyway, so no, I would love to hear what your favorite horror film is. Yeah, because so much is like kind of coming back again. And probably the best movie of this year is Megan 2.0. Have you guys seen that? Megan, the first one was really good, but this one's so much better. Megan 2.0. Excellent movie. Great action. And so yeah, I was going back to The Wrecker, and there's a scene where we have the crime boss, who's played by Harvey Keitel. Excuse me. Love Harvey Keitel. He was amazing in Reservoir Dogs, and he was even a National Treasure. He's just such an amazing actor. And there's a scene where he has his henchmen put a plastic bag over a guy's head, and it's so gruesome and violent, and in a way it's kind of like, okay, I grew up in a small town on the border of Mexico, and you'd hear all these drug stories because apparently where I'm from, on the border of Mexico, a lot of drugs cross over. Shocker, right? And so many movies are being made about it nowadays. Anyway, so I remember as a younger person hearing of a story of a guy had a plastic bag put over his head, and then they shoved his head in the toilet and they were flushing it as he had this plastic bag on, which I thought was kind of weird because you're already suffocating him, and if you put him in a toilet, I guess he gets a little bit of water, but it just seemed it was creative. Anyway, so I thought, I have to use that in a story, and I did. It was kind of cool, and the part I saw looked really awesome. So unless they've changed a lot of the editing significantly since I last saw it, which is a few months ago, it should be really good. It's Ghost 1990. I've never... Oh yeah, Ghost is good. The revamped ones with the kids. Yeah, that wasn't really scary. I guess because they had like the mummy or something like that. It's kind of creepy. I don't know. It was kind of wild. Anyway, there are a lot of scary movies out, and it seems like there are more out now than ever before. And Patrick, the actor who died. What was that? I don't remember that one. I'll have to look that up. Interesting. I'll definitely look that up. My daughter's really good at these horror movie names, and I kind of get a lot of my information from her regarding. She watches monsters, monster.com. No. Anyway, it's this guy who does YouTube, and he does like these mashups of horror films and talks about them, and she loves it, and so I get my information from her. Anyway, I just want to say thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate it. So I think what is today? Today's Monday. God, isn't it amazing how fast these days are going by? All right, so I wanted to mention today is an 11 day. It's like a numeral. I have not had anything to drink, and I feel like I have. So I can't talk. Anyway, it's supposed to be a very powerful day. So that's why I wanted to go live, because it just seemed like a really cool thing to do. Anyway, I think I will read Paralysis next time I'm on, which will probably be, it'll be Wednesday night. I think I'll do 9 o'clock at night. It seems a little, the vibe for horror stories seems to work better when it's later at night than earlier. And so Wednesday night at 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I will read Paralysis. And if I really get into it, I might just do the whole thing, because it has a lot of action, a lot of fun stuff. It's a fun read too. And I think it'll be a really good movie. But, you know what? I should probably look at the record too. But the movie's coming out soon. After it comes out, I'll read the script, because then you could see if you guys want, and you guys have to watch it because it's so freaking good. Oh, and there's a badass woman character too, Jasmine. Jasmine's her name. She is total badass, and it's like, yeah, I kind of said we gotta have a badass babe in this movie kicking ass too. So I just really hope it's coming out good. So it's called The Wrecker, with Harvey Keitel, Tyrese Gibson. He's a really cool dude. Danny Trejo. The Wrecker. Danny Trejo, yes. I'm really hoping he goes to the premiere here in LA, which is supposed to be on the 23rd. I'm still waiting to get information on that. And see who else is in it. Chad Michael Collins. He is part of the TV show Sniper. He plays Tony's younger brother, and there's a scene where he's driving a really hot car that he wrecks, which is like, I can't wait to see how they do that. And Mina Savari, she's in it. She's absolutely amazing. And it's just it was filmed in Vegas. I'm not in it, damn it. It would have been cool if I was, but it worked out. I mean, things work out the way they're supposed to. But it's going to be a wild ride. It's definitely high octane, gritty. And he has this garage where he has his crew who work with him, and they're all really tight, which is, got to have that sense of family, right? So I'm very, very excited about that. Anyway, I'm going to post a replay of this, because I would love to hear your comments on the stories I read. If you think it'd make a great short or not, or it's like, oh, this sucks, move on, or oh, this has potential. It's like, this could be really scary. I mean, that would be fun if you guys want to. If not, hey, I totally get it. There's, we have 5-second attention spans nowadays, it seems like. But, Wednesday night, I will read from Paralysis. And I think for the month of October until Halloween, I'm just going to keep reading my scary stories, because I have a few. And as we get closer to Halloween, I think I'll do my Auntie Fiona Adams. Have you guys seen the Wednesday show? It's kind of funky, weird, scary, but not really scary. Anyway, but The Wrecker, October 31st. Is Mina in it? Oh, Mina said yes. She actually plays the love interest. So this love story, it's really sweet. It's not this. It's crazy. There's like no sex in this movie. There's just innuendo and a lot of subtext, and I think that's kind of sweet. Paralysis is a different story. That's a different vibe. But anyway, Mina's in it. It's a beautiful story between them. And we already wrote the sequel too. We have The Record Part 2 already done, and that will be exciting because she has a much bigger part in that too. And Black Betty. All right, but I'll talk more about Black Betty next time. But my hour's up. Oh my God, it went by so fast. So let me know what your favorite scary movies are. We could talk about them too. And there are quite a few horror festivals that are really popular, and it's kind of like all over the country. And horror's become quite the big thing. And it seems like, is it because we're really living in terrifying times? I don't know. But anyway, thank you so much, Ronnie, for joining me. I really appreciate it. And everyone else, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. And I will be back Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Pacific time. And I look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Thanks so much. Mwah, 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 mwah. Have a great day, guys, or a great night and a great tomorrow.